Welcome to Biz Coach and Coffee, where our guests are experts, entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants that share tips, strategies, and tactics to help small business entrepreneurs grow their business for long-term success. Please welcome your host, Biz Coach Steve Feld. Hello, and welcome to Biz Coach and Coffee. Today we have another great episode. Now, this person I have known for quite some time, and I gotta say, you want to talk about unique, genuine, and really cares? This is her, Jane Powers. I mean, she's very, very straightforward, big heart. I cannot stress that enough. She has a huge heart. So when she's telling you something, you got to listen. She doesn't mean it mean. She's trying to help you. She really is. And she has helped, God, thousands and thousands probably of people through transforming their message from making money. So using their message on any platform, stages. And she has a great program called Speak to Profit Formula, which I highly recommend. And she's been doing this for a long time. But I'd like to welcome Jane because we got to hear it right from her. Jane, welcome to our podcast.
So you mentioned coffee. I am probably your only guest that does not even touch an ounce of coffee. So I'm a fraud. Automatically, I am deemed a fraud. That's all I'm going to say. Did I say frog or fraud? I think I said fraud.
It sounded like frog.
I'm that too.
We haven't had Kermit yet, but we will. Well, great. I just gave a little bit of introduction, but can you tell our listeners who are small business owners, entrepreneurs, really what you get down and do for them?
So essentially, as most understand, if you know me, you know I'm known for my Intromercial and my Speak with Confidence, Sell with Authority. That's essentially who I am and what I stand for in my business. But most of the time, people struggle in their business for two reasons. One, their messaging is not landing and having people lean in. And more importantly, they're not gaining enough leads from that messaging to then have to sell. People are like, oh, I hate to sell. Well, if you don't get enough leads, you'll be fine. You won't have to sell. So what I do is I take the heart of what you do, align it with the right message so that message can go out and be like a net over your ideal client. It'll help discern who needs to listen, who doesn't. But most people have an elevator pitch. And I say ditch the elevator pitch, get an infomercial, and land more clients. So that's essentially what I do is I take the purpose and reduce it to a simple understanding of what you do through your messaging.
Great. And I got to tell everyone, I have been through your course, Intromercials, and I'm telling everyone right now, I use this within 1 week of going through Jane's course. And I went to a networking group. I spit out my Intromercial in exactly 20 seconds. I had 10 people waiting to talk to me afterwards. I still had 40 seconds left to talk. That's the power of, instead of that, well, I'm a landscaper and I'm looking for people who need landscaping.
I help. And it makes a huge difference. And you know, the infomercial is formulated with brain science in there. So there's keywords that have people going, what? Oh, I'm still here. Most of the time you've seen this. We go to networking, we go to events, and you're like, 5 minutes later, you're dozing off and you're thinking, I still don't know what you do. Like, I honestly have no clue. So it makes a big difference in growing your business. Or it doesn't matter if you're working as an executive or a team lead or any organizational position. You must articulate your desires so you move people into action. It's as simple as that. I don't care if you're just a parent. If you got kids and no business, moving them into action, I'll help you.
So you mentioned a great point because I know the result that comes out of it. Now, can any business owner just not use it just for networking, but can they use it everywhere?
Oh, intromercial, anytime. See, here's the key. The intromercial I'll demonstrate mine. So entrepreneurs, hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent and cannot articulate their message clearly. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal audience. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you make money. So that's a demonstration of an intromercial. Mine is 17.5 seconds. We need to get yours down a little bit, 2 seconds or so. But essentially, what that does is it positions me as the expert, positions my client in pain, and then positions the solution. And that should be used anytime, any place. I'll give you a really good example. Now, I don't create a intromercial per se for this one client, had 3 Dairy Queens. 3 Dairy Queens. How do you increase business at a Dairy Queen? They've got commercials, they've got everything you should need, but it makes a difference how you articulate your desires. You're moving people into an upsell. How about a bag of Buster Bars to go home? How about this? How about a bag of sandwiches? I'm sorry, but if you own a business, oh, you love that. Why don't you get this as well? Who does that? Amazon, right? You buy one thing in Amazon, they go, other customers bought this. And if you're not a loser, you should buy those too. That's essentially what they're saying. We've got to articulate in a very caring way the same exact thing. So you use it for videos, you use it for this podcast, you use it for anything you're doing. I'll do videos. I always have a wow factor. So one quote of something powerful. And then I use the first line of my intromercial. Every video you'll see, I'm Jane Powers, entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority. How do you do that? In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how. So it's an opener. It is everything you need, no matter if you're networking, writing articles, your website. Your website needs to have that upfront and personal. So you can use the truth is, if you're not telling people what you do, not how you do it, because we do not care. If you don't tell them the outcome, they're not listening because they want to know what's in it for me. If they don't know what's in it for me, they're not listening. We're selfish people. We are selfish and we want to know what's my outcome. Tell me what my outcome is and I'll keep listening. If you're talking about this is how wonderful I am. Here's what I've done. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you, your success, and your story until they know you care about them.
That's it. And this is one thing too that we've talked about, and I want to share it with everyone. It's a work in progress. It's going to change. It's going to tweak because you're going to look on people's faces, and when you see their eyes rolling in the back of their head, that's probably not hitting the mark. We've all done it. And I know I've even shared this because Jane, we were working on one of my intromercials and I went to let's say a global networking event as a guest. I said my intromercial. It was 60 people in the room. All said it went dead quiet. They were talking through everyone else's, but mine, they went dead quiet. The person next to me, their jaw was on the ground going, they had to be shaken and they're like, I'm not following that.
That happens. I love when that happens. I love that because I have a reputation, a good one, please. I have a reputation for having the intromercial. And when people say, they're like, I'm not sitting near you. Are you first? Because everybody needs to go before Jane. People will say that because when you unleash that thing, that intromercial, what ends up happening, people will sit back and go, whoa, it sounds like an entire presentation.
Yeah.
But the beauty is they always give you, most of them, they're like, you've got 60 seconds. And most people go, well, I started my business because I've got 8 kids. And with the 8 kids, here's how it started. Well, let me back up. And then they'll tell your life story and you're sitting there going, I don't think I care. I mean, it doesn't sound like you're not a nice person, but it's like we're at a business event. So when you unleash that intromercial, you have, like you said, you have another 40 seconds. Teach them something, have a call to action. I absolutely, but you're talking about how it's a living, breathing statement. Mm-hmm. And mine used to be, entrepreneurs hire me to unleash the world-class speaker in them. And then so I help speak with confidence, sell with authority. And somebody said to me one time, they're like, do you do sales training? And I'm like, that's all I do. I sell through the means of speaking. So I took my last line and put it up to the front as my holy grail. So it changes consistently. Here's the detriment to many people. What they end up doing is I will create that thing. I will create it down to about 20 seconds, and then we start chipping away. And then they come back to me, they're like, okay, I did a little work on it. And I look and it's an hour and 15 seconds. And I'm like, what has happened? Most people will tell everything. That ends up being a self-value issue. If I give them more, they're going to love me more. No, they're running because you're over-explaining, because a lack of value that you might feel you are providing.
That's it. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to just now ramble for that extra 40 seconds. And this is one thing I realized after that first time was like, wait a minute, where's my offer? Where's my next program? Give them that invite. Yes. And I have 40 seconds now to do that. You know how long 40 seconds is? It's like,
yes,
holy cow, I'm having fun. And I'm still barely under a minute.
And you're giving value. The key is you're giving value, and you're giving people a solution to the problem that they more than likely have. And what it does is it helps. I didn't used to say boring, confusing, and inconsistent because I thought, oh, I'm direct, but it felt a little rude. And then I tried it out, like you said, I tried it out my first time, and I had more people in that room coming up to me going, I am so boring. I am so inconsistent. I'm all of them. So I found like, okay, I've established enough credibility in my career that people will allow me to say that to them. So you've got to be able to find, so the creation of it, now that we're on the intromercial, the creation of it, step one, and we'll give them the formula, right? Aren't we doing something like that, Steve? So number one is your holy grail. What's the ultimate outcome that you offer? Mine, speak with confidence, sell with authority. That's the holy grail. Then list 3 pain points: boring, confusing, and inconsistent, can't articulate the message, whatever it is. Stay away from stuck, overwhelmed, stressed. Everybody uses it, frustrated. Please. Then you go into, so I help, 3 benefits. Not so I help through one-on-one coaching and a guaranteed system to make $1 million. We're done. So you've got to come up with what's the 3 benefits that you have. Not, we're going to hop on a Zoom call. Through the Zoom call, you're going to get, we don't care how. We care what's in it for me 3 times over. Then you have the bottom line. So the formula is so simple. Position me. I'm awesome. I am hired to speak with confidence and sell with authority. I'm hired. When you say I help, you sound like a volunteer. So we go right into viable business. Position me. I'm awesome. Because most now position them. You've got to position your audience and poke the bruise just enough so they wake up and go, I'm boring, confusing, and inconsistent. Now they're listening, so I help. Benefit, benefit, benefit. Now you're into position your offer. Position me, I'm awesome. Position them, you just might be screwed. Position your offer, here's our invitation. It's a simple formula. And most people, it's a hard formula. I don't mean to say it is. I have this weird, this is my stupid human trick. This is my Rain Man trick. You throw a bunch of words at me, I'll pop out an intromercial. It's become this art form for my brain. When I listen to somebody, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you should say. So most people are not landing clients because they're right out of the gate. They're not saying what they do in an effective way.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to hit on that a little bit more because I know an answer to a question that I've heard a million times when I've given mine. We're going to fire those to you. We're going to take a brief pause here for our sponsor. We'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by Spotlight Books. Get your expert book completed in 30 days. If you don't have an expert lead magnet book about you and how you serve your market, then visit www.spotlight-books.com. Link is also in the show notes. Put a spotlight on your expertise. And we're back with Jane Powers. So we're talking about intromercials. So the one question I hear a lot after I give mine, they're like, Can this be used for different audiences? Do I have to only have one, or can I have many intromercials?
So that is so important. So for example, you know how people say get rich in a niche. I totally agree with that. But if you're out there trying to make your way in the world and you work with everybody and anybody and they go narrow it down to 5'3" blonde haired women in the Midwest that drive a van. Well, now I've got this niche that is so tiny. My brain goes, what about all these people? So can you niche narrow? You can niche your audience a bit more narrow. Entrepreneurs, business owners, executives, parents, whatever it is, women who want to lose weight, whatever it is, you can narrow the audience, but don't go too narrow because someone may not self-identify as the individual you're speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is your topic can be the niche. For example, speaking and sales. That's a niche topic. I can speak to everybody and anybody. So when using the intromercial, you've got to be able to promise truly what you promise. Like if somebody said, I want to build a rocket ship, and I go, entrepreneurs hire me to fly to the moon because most don't know how to put a rocket ship together. That's not my wheelhouse. That's not my zone of genius. So make sure that what you're offering is, yes, it is what your mastery is in. So let's say, for example, I get called and executives want me to come to their meeting. I can go in and say, executives, C-suite executives, managers, hire me to speak with confidence, sell with authority, because most aren't moving their audience, their teams, or their management staff into action. Now I customize it a bit more to their pain points. So I help connect, capture, and move teams around. So we can change it according to the audience. Let's say I go to the Plumbers Association of America and they want to sell better. I'm going to do the same thing. Plumbers hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most. I can go into the same thing. So depending upon the audience, use the name, but make sure it fits your audience.
Yeah, that's the critical part. And I know I went to Jane one time and I said, I'm speaking at this one event. And it's filled with people who are very highly technical, zero sense of humor. You're not going to get a rise out of them. They want facts, figures, data. They don't want fluffy and all that. And I said, Jane, I need to come up with a really killer intromercial that's going to format the seats so they stop looking at their phone. And it took a while, folks. This wasn't easy. And when I came back and I delivered it, I didn't see anyone looking at their phone from that point forward. And I got to throw in some jokes as well and got them laughing because that intromercial opened the door for me.
It's a credibility builder. It's instant credibility. I'm telling you, get one. Look when you go to the next networking event and people look at you and they're thinking, number one, I need to buy what you have. Number two, I hate you because I'm following you. I get that all the time. And I'm always like, hey, give me a call. I'll create one for you. Like it's a great lead generator. Trust me, you can put it on your website. You can put it on your videos. Anywhere you are delivering that, it is powerful.
Absolutely. And I always tell people it sounds easy to create, but I'm telling you, folks, you need another perspective on this. And I've been telling people for years, for business owners, go to speed networking events, kind of like speed dating. You have 60 seconds to deliver your pitch and just look at the reaction. And I took 3 intromercials, 3 different versions, and one they were all giving me their cards. You better call me for coffee. Whereas the other 2 were like,
Yeah.
It didn't resonate.
It's vital. I love it for speed networking or speed dealing. I love it because people are like, by the time their 60 seconds are over, I'm like, get out of my way. I'm Jane Powers, entrepreneurs hire me. They're like, whoa, I need one of those and I need what you have to offer. Yeah. So it's a double dip. It's powerful. And I'm telling you, people lose their focus in about 7 seconds, if that. They're already, if you don't catch them right away, they're like, so we've got to use the right words. We've got to use action words. We've got to use result driven and make a big difference rather than sounding like everyone else out there.
Absolutely. And this definitely will separate you from everyone else. So if you're a small business owner, that entrepreneur who's getting out there, you have a website, you have maybe videos, blogs, you're putting yourself out there. Even Facebook pages. Your intromercial should be on every single thing.
And same as LinkedIn. I have it at
Oh, yeah.
LinkedIn profile where they say, tell us, like, right goes under your name. My intromercial is there, just the holy grail. So it draws people in right away. Make it your profile, make it big part of your profile.
I couldn't agree more. I always get LinkedIn experts who do redo LinkedIn profiles. And when I get the note from them, they're like, I found you on LinkedIn. OMG, your description. And it's my intromercial.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it is. And Steve, I would love to say I'm genius. I don't know how. I can't even remember how I came up with that. I think I started breaking it down, and then all of a sudden, I don't even know. I wish I had the documentary on the birth of an intromercial. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you where it came from. I started creating it, trademarked it. I mean, we registered this thing because everybody and their brother was trying to rip it off, and I'm telling you, but a lot of people can't create these. And so that brings me to, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to make it hard. I wish it was, but if you get the intromercial, it's like the log that's holding up that log jam. That intromercial, you release that information, that you're every bit, you'll start a like massive surge of clients coming to you because now they know what they're doing. They know what you do.
Absolutely. And I say, I'm a giver, you're a giver. What can we give our listeners here to help them in their business to use this and grow and survive?
So I want to give them two opportunities because one, we've already, our disclaimer, the fine print, this is not easy. That is our disclaimer. So disclaimer, this is not easy, but if you want to give it a go to your speaker success kit. I know I couldn't possibly make it longer. Your speakersuccesskit.com. That will give you the formula. It also give you how to get booked to speak. It's got that formula in there. Steve, ideal, my God, he was my star pupil, my star client. I told him, I go, you use this formula, you go make 25 calls a day. That I'm telling you, Steve, I was singing your praises all over. He's like, I'm speaking again. I'm like, dang, I'm good. Crap. No, Steve's really good, but it'll give you how to get booked, where to go. Please, the update of some of those, it's changed dramatically, but the formula is in there. For those of you who say, I'm not even going to attempt it because I know it will frustrate me, go to Intromercialimpact.com. Intromercialimpact.com. You answer a handful of questions. You send that to me, and I myself will create 3 intromercials for you. 3, not 1, because Steve was my lesson in this. He's like, I need another. I'm like, might as well give 3 right out of the gate. Answer the questions, and I will create that. I personally created. We were doing AI. I don't know if you know this, Steve. We were doing AI. I love that I can say I am smarter than artificial intelligence, just doesn't learn very well. So I put them all out myself, but yourspeakersuccesskit.com, Intromercialimpact.com, and you can get yourself an intromercial. Your goal, 20 seconds or less.
We will have those links in the show notes. So please take advantage of these offers. We're bringing on these great guests to help you in your business, trying to make it easier for you. Stop pounding your head against the wall. I'll swear by this one. I am living proof that this one works.
Yes.
Any last tips for our business owners, entrepreneurs?
Steve, I have had tips, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but my most recent tip, because of the world that we live in, is never sacrifice who you are for what you want to do and how you want to do it. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't try to look like everyone else. So what if they're winning at their game? It's their game. But your unique gift is based on your unique values and what you have to offer. So, my biggest thing is just be you. Be the best you, the best version of you can possibly be, and do not apologize for that 1 minute.
That's fantastic advice. So many people are trying to do the copycat or paranoia. It doesn't help.
No, and they all sound like each other. So don't, if you hear what somebody's saying, I've had people literally use my lines, and I'm like, well, first, that's my book title. You probably don't want to use that. And you know what? If you have to copy someone else's, you're not truly living within the purpose of why you're here.
That's it.
If you sound like everyone else, you've lost sight of who you are. So find your voice. In your voice is your power. In your power, you can do absolutely anything.
Excellent. So take advantage of Jane's fantastic offers. Be different. Be you. Jane, thank you very much for being our guest.
My pleasure. I dig you. I value being on here. Thank you.
Great. Folks, if you like this episode, make sure you like and subscribe. Let your other fellow small business owners and entrepreneurs know so we can help you grow your business. This is Biz Coach Steve Feld, wishing you and your business much success.
We hope you enjoyed today's topic. If you'd like to discuss how you can apply these strategies in your business, let us know. This episode is sponsored by Spotlight Books. Get your own expert book written about you in 30 days. Set yourself apart from the competition. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to give us your comments. We look forward to hearing from you on Biz Coach and Coffee.